So if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you wanted to learn some variation of a soft goth look that you can wear on an everyday basis. So I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks and a full-on step-by-step tutorial on how to get a more everyday soft goth look for beginners before you dip your toes straight into trad goth makeup. First things first, for any makeup style, wear a primer. I'm not right now because I'm going to be washing this right off, but primers can protect your skin, keep your makeup on longer, and help you with the finish of your makeup looking less cakey or greasy. So wear a primer. I haven't found a really good one yet that I personally like, so I can't really give some good recommendations, but just try out, see what works for your skin type. So first step is, like most makeup looks, is just a base, which is going to be our foundation. I like applying mine with a damp beauty sponge. I think the application process is a lot more foolproof, beginner friendly, and I think the finish is a little bit nicer. So just get your beauty blender, and what I mean by a damp sponge is it should be fully submerged in water and then all the water should be squeezed out. Like I'm squeezing it, no water is coming out. Most of the water is gone. Anyways, your foundation should be your skin tone or maybe one shade lighter if that's what you're going for. But for this type of look, you're really not going for super dramatic with the base, at least. We're going for the base being a lot more simple and the eyes being where you focus. So this is how I apply it. I would recommend warming it up on the back of your hand with your finger and then applying it. I'm just lazy. So then just tap, never swipe, tap. You tap with your beauty sponge if you're using a brush, which I don't recommend for beginners, but if you're using a brush, you tap. You never swipe. It doesn't matter what you're using, just you don't swipe when you're applying anything really. I guess you swipe when you're applying powder products because you're kind of going in little tiny circles, but even that you don't really swipe. You tap and go in circles. So if you're finding this to take too long, something I do is I will just beat my face with it. I know it's an odd thing to do, but I swear it worked. I know. No, I don't pin back my hair. Should I? Yes. Do I? No. Next things would be if you want to put on some liquid blush, if you're going to wear blush. Not required. I just like how it looks. I tend to wear a very cool tone purpley shade. This is still not cool tone enough for me, but you know, it's what I can find. A lot of goth looks don't tend to wear as much blush. I don't know. I like it. I feel like even though you're trying to look dark and mysterious, I feel like some blush can still work, but this is up to personal preference. This is not required. I just like it. And yeah, again, tapping motions, tapping motions, tapping motions. We do not swipe here. We just go. Have you ever seen that one video where it's like that lady with like tons of makeup and then she does the ASMR where she's going? Because that sometimes lives rent-free in my brain, and that's not a good thing. Okay. And if you want to lighten your eyelids a little bit, just tap. Now, if you want to do concealer, you can. I personally think goth looks look better without concealer unless you're trying to get like a porcelain-like base. Because I think those dark circles and like blemishes peeking through kind of look cool. I think they kind of look alternative, like. But that's a personal preference. If you want to put on concealer, I recommend doing is tapping it with your finger before, like until it's mostly blended, and then going around the edges with your beauty blender. That's what I found works for me. But again, I've stopped wearing concealer recently, so. Alrighty, unless you have like super duper dry skin, and even if you have super duper dry skin, set your makeup. But for me, I feel like a good goth look is real nice and matte. This is a nice, so get yourself a nice powder. There are some really shitty powders on the market and they will work, but they will not look good. I personally love the Maybelline Fit Me powder. It's really nice, and it's on the cheaper side. It's not super cheap, but it's on the cheaper side. I've heard the Catrice setting powder is way cheaper and really good as well. So, what you're gonna do, I'm a weirdo. I use a lot of old makeup techniques because I think they look good. I use a beauty blender for my setting powder, and I just work it into the beauty blender until it's pretty much even, and then I tap until it's evenly distributed where I want it, and I set my whole face. You can also use a brush, like a soft fluffy brush, if you want a less powder. You can use a powder puff. I've never used one, but I think it'll give the same effect as what I'm doing with the beauty blender. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna focus on the areas you crease, if you've worn makeup before, your T-zone, which is your forehead, your nose, this area right here, and here. You're gonna focus on your T-zone, and I just put it everywhere. I also sometimes will carve out my blush ever so slightly if it got a little messy, because I use a powder with a little bit of a coverage to it. Now, for our intents and purposes, I'm showing you how to do your eyebrows now because I forgot, but I would always recommend doing your eyebrows before all this. I'm a weirdo. I have always thought that eyebrows are optional. It's a personal preference thing. A lot of people say that eyebrows make or break your face. They can definitely elevate your makeup look, but they're not gonna ruin your makeup. So if you don't have the products and don't wanna, or do and just don't wanna deal with it, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Now, always do your gel first. That's a personal thing I've learned from when I was doing my pencil first. It would always smudge and look really messy. Now, a lot of people do arched eyebrows with goth looks. I am just a fan of straight eyebrows, not like fluffy brows, just no arch at all, straight eyebrows. The straightest thing about me. No, I feel they give a more masculine look to the face. Sometimes that's what I'm going for. Most days that's what I'm going for. So I'm going for androgynous makeup a lot of the time. So a lot of the stuff I do is feminine, and then my eyebrows and my mascara are very masculine. So yeah, swipe up, and then what you do is you just fill your brows, if you haven't done this before, fill your brows with the gel to the point where it feels like they're like getting stuck to your face a little bit. And swipe them up, swipe them up, swipe them up until you look like the soap brows trend, and then you take the edge of it and start shaping them by pressing, by not even pressing, you lightly just guide your eyebrow hairs. If you're interested in doing black eyebrows, I'd recommend waiting because they can be a little more not beginner friendly. I've done it. They didn't look great because I didn't know exactly what I was doing quite. I'm gonna try again soon, but I'd say just go with your natural color for now. If you're a ginger like me and can never find eyebrow products that work, NYX has like the best ginger eyebrow pencil. They have multiple shades, and by multiple I mean 2. I mean, the warm blonde would probably also work for like a super light ginger. The one I use is Rich Auburn, but they also have Auburn, I think warm blonde. Don't quote me on that. But you're gonna let your gel mostly dry before you start working in with your pencil, because you don't wanna, yeah, that's good. You don't wanna make it all messy. So you just do light flicking strokes. I mostly just slightly elongate the tail of my brows and fill in the ends. Don't do much else. Sometimes I'll make them a little bit more square up in the front. That's it. That's all I do. I fill in the sparse areas, make them a little straighter, and make them a little boxier. Because again, the most masculine part of my makeup routine is my eyebrows. For all intents and purposes, please do that before you do your foundation. I just forgot. Yay. Next up, I'm doing more blush. I don't know. People could say I have blush blindness, but I also have everything else makeup blindness, and it's not blindness. It's intentional, so whatever. I like this one. It's a nice color. It's a little too warm. It's like a little, I think it's a neutral shade, but it's much better than the one I used to use. This is just straight orange. I got it in like a mystery box, and I used it for a while, even though it did not match me. And I'll finish it eventually. It's just right now is not that time. So the brush I'm using for powder blush, oh, it's rubbed off. I think it's e.l.f. highlighter brush. I don't know why, but it's just like the perfect shape for your like whole cheekbone area. I've never used it for highlighter once. I don't think it works for highlighter, but it works perfectly for blush. Yep, a little bit of blush. If you're sensitive to fragrance though, don't get this one. It's highly fragrance. Sometimes it's too much for me. I just try not to smell it. Another more optional thing, because this is a little more difficult for little baby bats, but I'll do a little bit of contour just to make me look a little more ghostly, a little more haunting. And I do barely anything. I'll just add a little bit of that and then blend it out with what I use to blend out my powder. Just so it looks like I've got a little bit of a carved in there. And you'll never guess what I'm using for this. Eyeshadow. I swear, eyeshadow is like, if you ever need to get a color for something that you don't have, just use your eyeshadow. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to be as easily to blend, but it works. So I will take it. One of my favorite things for my soft goth looks, and this is not a very conventional thing, but it's just something I find really fun. I will use a super unconventional highlight color. The one I use right now, it green. It's like super green, like not like, oh, it looks green in the pan and it applies not green. No, it green, and I love it. I really want a blue one because I feel like that would complement my skin tone really well. But I'll just apply it I apply it with my fingers. I really don't care. This one is not something I'm concerned about. I apply a lot of my makeup with my fingers. It's not that I don't have makeup brushes, it's that I'm just too lazy to pack them all. So I've just adapted and started doing my makeup with my fingers. So yeah, you just, if you're doing your highlight with your fingers, you just tap it on. It's really not that big a deal. Again, highlight's more or less optional. You could also do a matte highlight that looks really good with goth looks. But I like my green highlight. I think it's cool. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for, the eyes. So, what I do is I always start with a cool brown base. This is actually going to be the same eyeshadow I used for my cheekbones. I start at the lash line and just sort of swipe it on a little bit. I do a little bit on the outer corner. It's okay if it gets messy. You take a finger that hasn't touched anything yet and you just basically touch it until it looks fine again. And especially this part, do not be concerned about how it looks. This is just a base to start deepening your eye and make it look a little, I don't know, I have very open eyes, so I do what I can to make them look less open, which is nothing wrong if you do have open eyes. That's just not the look I want for myself personally. I've seen many goths with like super wide eyes and they look great. It's just not what I want for myself. And I'll take a little bit of a black color. I have two blacks. I have a slightly lighter charcoal gray black and then a black black. I tend to use the charcoal gray a little bit more because it's just that tad bit more forgiving. So we're going to take it on that outer corner and just swipe it across our lash line and make little motions. If the edge gets a little too messy, just take your finger and blend it in. Or you could take a little fluffy brush with some powder and use that to help blend it in. You're just basically doing this on the outer triangle of your eye and then along your lash line. And most of this is going to end up being covered up by your eyeliner if you want to do so. I find it helps to make your eyes just look a little more continuous. Is there anything else I want to do? I think we're gonna stick away from the reds today. That's if you're a goth and you want to do something with a little bit of color, I will always recommend red. It looks good with like every eye color, and it just looks so vampiric. I love it. Next is the moment we've all been waiting for, the creme de la creme of any goth look. It's your eyeliner. Now, I know this is a beginner look, and it is, but yes, I'm going to be doing winged felt tip eyeliner. But I'm going to be giving y'all some tips on how. If you've never seen me before, I have done a step-by-step on how to get your wing down in shorts. So I'm not going to go through how to personally get your eyeliner skills down, because I've already done that. If you want to, see that, I'll have the video linked in the description. I will give you some extra tips I didn't get to give with felt tip eyeliner here. My favorite eyeliner is the NYX Epic Ink. I swear this is not a plug. I do not have enough subscribers for this to be sponsored. I love this thing. So mine is absolutely demolished because I've been using it so long. It's probably expired to hell and back. It's broken, but I still love it. Reasons I love it. It has a good formula. It is pretty waterproof. Like, if it rains, it's not going to be coming off. If you are under a shower, maybe. But if you're crying, maybe not. So again, it has a brush tip, a proper felt, not felt tip, a brush. That helps you make such cleaner lines. And it's also like pitch black. It's wonderful. I will recommend this to anybody who asks for an eyeliner recommendation. It's also like, I think under $10. It might be $12. It might be like a little bit over $10, give or take. Now, eyeliner. This is probably one of the most difficult things in makeup at all. What I do is I always start with just a line. A line to start my base angle. Because your eyeliner, depending on how you want it to look, the angle is what matters the most. I like mine straight. Some people like it upwards, some people like it a little bit downwards. I like mine just straight. It really pulls my eyes a lot. If y'all want me to do a whole video on how different eyeliner looks make your eye looks and like how you can change the shape of your eye, tell me. But for now, I'm just gonna show you how I do my eyeliner. So I just start with that line. Don't worry if it's a little wiggly, you're gonna fix it. So then I always start, instead of going like a lot of people do this, I go under first. And just take it slow. And it's okay if this little base part looks a little wiggly. I will also take it under my eye. I'm a person who loves to take my felt eyeliner or my liquid eyeliner under my eye and then just blend it out. So always, by the way, always use your hand on your face to make your lines a lot smoother. It'll make your lines so much less shaky. Okay, now I'm just gonna lock in for a second and just watch what I do. And then, okay, so I'm gonna explain what I did. I elongated it and made it thicker. Honestly, this is very tame eyeliner for me. I don't know if I love it. I think it's a little too thin. Let's thicken that up. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, it was too thin. I know people like the thin wings. I'm not one of those people. Okay, now, I love my inner corner. My sibling says it looks like it's my bird of prey liner. I love it. Inner corner is gonna be what changes your eye shape entirely. So I take it out, go out, and then go under. And it's okay if it's not like the cleanest thing in the world. That, honestly, nobody knows this, but that is what your waterline liner is for. It is for cleaning this up. So that is what one eye without anything else should look like, depending on how you want your eyeliner to look, of course. So I'm just gonna try to copy that, give or take, on the other eye. I'm gonna tell you a secret as someone who wears goth makeup on a daily basis. My eyeliner never matches from eye to eye. Never. There are days it's a lot more noticeable and there's days it's a lot less noticeable. On the rare occasion when it's really bad, someone will point it out, but that's like super rare and it doesn't bother me anymore. I used to be super perfectionist about my eye makeup, and I realized human faces are asymmetrical by nature. Why should my makeup be fully symmetrical as well? Also, let me just tell you, no one's gonna tell. Seriously, the only time people have been like, oh yeah, your eyeliner is off center, is asymmetrical, when I've told them. See, if you make a mistake like that, you can just take a step, take a second, take a breath, and fix it. I promise you, eyeliner is not that hard to fix. You can always make a mistake look intentional. Unless, of course, I don't even think there's something you can do to make your eyeliner look super unintentional. Unless it's, like, all wiggly. But, like, you could still make that look intentional. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna show you that. Right now, my inner corner liner doesn't look even. No, I'm gonna just leave it like that because that doesn't really matter all that much. Something I will always do, always do, I'm never not gonna do this, is I'm gonna do some water lining. If water lining freaks you out, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I can try to tell you how to water line, but it's still gonna be scary. I've just done it enough times that it doesn't scare me anymore. So, take your finger, press down, pull down ever so slightly. You're not doing this. You're just making your waterline pop out, and you're just gonna lightly touch and go back and forth. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, I know. Yes, I know you hate me. But it's so worth it. Look at that difference. It just makes your eyes look so nice and deep. And if you don't like how something turned out, you can use a little bit your gel liner, just make it look a little more blended. Blending is your best friend. And also, if these top lines aren't perfect, that's fine. It'll get covered up by your mascara if you're doing mascara. And then top waterlining, I don't even know how to describe doing it. I don't know how I do it myself. I just do it. It's the one that's more uncomfortable for me. Yep, and I mentioned it. Mascara, one of your best friends when it comes to eye looks because it will cover everything up. I like going downwards with my mascara. Sometimes I'll even anti-curl my lashes, which I do not recommend. Pretty sure it's really bad for your natural lashes and can break them off. Do as I say, not as I do. But I really love the look of straight lashes. So yeah, I go down and then I always do bottom lashes. I just think they look nice. Honestly, I don't even recommend waterproof mascaras because I don't need them. But I think they would really annoy me if my mascara is hard to get off at the end of the day because I can barely ever bring myself to take my makeup off in the first place. And by that, I mean I always take my makeup off before I go to sleep, but I don't want to. If you've gotten this far, your final step is your lips. Pretty cool. If you're actually going along with this, I'm proud of you. I don't care how it's turned out. I'm proud of you for trying something new and doing something you want to do. Okay, so as a goth girly, your best makeup product, it isn't even your eyeliner. It's black lip liner. It is so versatile. I know mine looks like horrible, but if you have a lip product that you don't think is goth, put a black lip liner on, put it on, it'll be goth, I swear. Unless it's like peach colored. Even that I'm skeptical about. That might still work. Lip lining your lips can be a little scary. Lining your lips, lip lining your lips. Wow. Lining your lips can be a little bit scary, especially with such a dark color. What I recommend doing is, again, my little trick with placing your hand on your face to steady your lines still works, but just take it slow. Don't try to overline your lips. Do your corners first. Get a vaguely smooth line, and then just connect them. Boom. That's your bottom lip. That's the easier one though. So what I like doing is I like going along kind of with the natural line of my lip. I do a little curve for the cupid, my kind of cupid's bow, and then I do, you'll see. Okay. Yep, it's a little uneven, but it's fine. I'm always going to be an advocate for filling in the sides of your lips with your lip liner. I just think it looks so nice. And then, boom, you've got your black lip liner on. Now I'm about to show y'all one of my holy grail lipsticks that I normally wear without a black lip liner. I don't think I've ever actually worn it with a black lip liner. That is wild to me. Because it's so beautifully vamped on its own. It is literally, it's, okay, yes, it's MAC, it's pricey. But look at that color. This is MAC Paramount. I don't know how it will look on darker skin tones, but for me, I actually haven't worn this with black lip liner yet, so this is my live reaction. I mean, just let that do the talking. Oh my god. Look at that vampy lip. And if you look like, oh, my corners aren't filled in, you blend it downwards. Now you look fine. I love that color. So, oh, that looks so good. Okay. Now, if you've gotten this far, again, I'm proud of you. You tried something new, or you enjoyed watching a makeup tutorial. I hope. So, for all my baby bats out there, just it's not gonna look perfect. It's never going to look perfect. But try, and you'll have fun. You'll feel more comfortable in your skin. I feel so much more comfortable in my skin when I wear my makeup like this. I don't care how many weird looks I get. I feel so nice when I wear makeup like this. So just, come on, be yourself. It's one of the things that keeps me sane in this world. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed.